Right, what's going on, guys? Inside of this series, we're gonna break down each and every body part, showing you the most common mistakes that you are making while you're training these body parts. So if you ever wondered why you're not making gains, why your progress is slow, this is exactly what you're going to find out inside of this series. In this episode, we're gonna break down chest training and the most common mistakes that you would make while training your chest. So let's get strapped in and let's kick off with this episode. If you are able to tackle the mistakes that I will be showing you inside of this video, you're no longer going to struggle with growing your chest. Okay, so the first mistake when it comes to chest training is rounded shoulders. Due to lifestyle habits, we often slouch. We sit up on a computer, we look at our phones and doing things on a phone. I also slouch at times. The biggest problem with slouching is when you enter the gym and then you try to train your chest, you're already locked into a position that doesn't allow you to engage your chest that much. Your chest is shortened and it's all tucked in, and now when you go to perform any pressing motions or even flying motions, you are simply locked into this position where your chest doesn't have a big range of motion and you're not entirely training your chest. Now, on the other hand, if you are able to expand your thoracic spine, which is just your upper back over here, you will be able to open up your chestal area, and then whenever you are training, you will be engaging much more of the fibers inside of that chest. So you want to make sure that you open up, you expand your chest, and that you allow the fibers inside of your chest to actually do the work while you're working out. So the next mistake would be weak lower traps. The lower traps are positioned in between your shoulder blades, and these are the muscles that we are talking about. Now, most of the times when guys go to the gym, you never really hear a bro saying, let's go hit some lower traps today. I want to get some dense lower traps. That's just not the case. Now, the reason why you want to focus on your lower traps is because they help you retract your shoulders back and pull you into the upright position. And that goes back to the first mistake that we were covering. If your shoulders are rounded forward, there is a high chance that your lower traps are underdeveloped, which essentially means that you don't have the muscles at the back, at your rear, to be able to pull you back into the upright position and actually allow you to have good posture while training so you can access the chest. So this is something that you would have to focus on. Okay, so mistake number 3 is upper trap dominant. What this would mean is that whenever you perform any exercises, you're not actually targeting the chest muscles, but you're targeting the surrounding muscles while training. So you end up performing a bench press and very little tension go to the chest, but most of the tension goes to the shoulders and goes to the traps. And essentially you're in this position where you're pushing your full body forward and you try to press as far away from your body. If you are trap dominant, you will feel your traps and your shoulders tensing up, but you will feel little tension inside of your chest. So this is the reason why you need that strength inside of that lower trapezius muscles and the posterior muscles, so you can lock yourself nicely into the bench while you're performing those movements. And instead of ending up in a position where your whole arm is extended and your traps are tensed up, you are capable of retracting your shoulders back and locking into the proper position while you're training your chest. And right now, if I'm in this position, I can feel my chest much more than if I end up in a position where my traps are dominant. So being trap dominant is a big problem because essentially you're training to grow your chest, but you're not targeting your chest because your traps are taking most of the tension and they're taking away from your chest gains. Okay, so the next mistake would be no focus on the tension inside of your chest at the top of the movements. A lot of the times, people just simply don't focus on tension inside of the muscles. What you would do is sit down and perform an exercise, you focus on your reps, you focus on your sets, but you're not necessarily focusing on what goes on inside of your body while you're performing these moves. And now if you were to switch your focus onto, I'm not just focusing on reps and sets, but I'm also focusing on the amount of tension I'm feeling inside of my muscle, maybe what would happen is you start to play around with different positions, different variations, in order to actually be able to feel your chest. The more you can contract your chest while you're training, the better results you are going to get. Okay guys, so moving on, the next mistake would be the lack of flexibility and range of motion. So the further I can stretch my muscle, more opportunity I have to make gains on that body part. Let's say I'm performing a bench press, but I'm only coming down to about 50%. Well, there's another 50% that would give me more opportunity to stretch that muscle and engage it and grow it. What you want to do instead is slowly be able to gain flexibility in that range stretch out those muscles, stretch out those fibers, and eventually become capable of being able to perform the movement. Don't be half-hearted with your range of motion. Try to stretch the muscles, work on a depth, but do it in a controlled manner in order to be able to engage more muscle fibers and make more gains. So guys, these are the most common mistakes when it comes to chest training. I can guarantee that if you're struggling to make gains on your chest, some of these mistakes will definitely apply to you. These are the first steps that I cover with my clients inside of my training programs because I understand the importance of these steps and also the opportunity that you have if you are able to fix them. Nick went from this to this in only 2 weeks, and the main reason for this transformation was simply the fact that we fixed how Nick was performing the movements, and I made sure to teach Nick how to engage the muscles while he's training, so he's not just pointlessly performing exercises and repping things out, but he's actually engaging his muscles while he's training and maximizing his muscle growth. So if you are someone that maybe struggles to make gains, maybe you're not sure what it is that you should be doing in order to get the best results, I suggest you click the button below and you can reserve a free one-to-one strategy call. And on this call, I will personally break down your current situation, look into what's going wrong, look into your goals and where you would like to be, and I'll show you a blueprint of what it is that you should be doing in order to be able to get to that goal. Click the button below, or if you're watching this on YouTube, just find the link in the description. And let's jump on a free strategy call and let me take care of your gains. In the next videos, we're gonna break down the shoulder training, back training, core training, etc. All the different body parts so I can show you what you're doing wrong and what can you do right. So I hope to see you in those videos. Let's go.